to Zero to Hero, Become an AI ProPilot Mentorship. We are thrilled to have you on board as we embark on this exciting 8-week journey to unlock the true potential of AI. Throughout this program, you will gain hands on experience and in depth knowledge integrating Microsoft Copilots seamlessly into your workflow to boost work quality and efficiency. By the end of this mentorship, you will be equipped with cutting edge AI tools to boost your productivity and innovation. We are excited to see how you use these tools to transform your daily work, and we are excited to prepare you for the future, a future with AI. Join us.
But anyway, so let's take a quick step back, do a recap from the lesson from April. She gave a little bit of insight on the history of AI. This is nothing new. AI is being in discussion, or it's been the forefront of IT since 1950. But what we see lately is that a rise on use of the AI due to generative AI. It has made its way into our routines and the things we do day in and day out. Um, April also talked about the growth in usage. It took about 16 years for mobile phones to reach 100 million users. It has taken ChatGPT about 3 months to reach the same mark. So AI is being used left and right, one way or another. If you don't like it, if you think that you have your concerns about its use, whether it's going to take your job or not, we better accept the fact that it's part of life. Can't really go away from it. What else we have here? Common uses of AI, ChatGPT, of course, DALL-E, Midjourney, Magic Design by Canva, Microsoft Designer, Google Gemini are common usage of AI. I do use those tools a lot in my daily routine and how I prepare my material. Simple examples. Let's prepare for takeoff. Chat GPT, Canvas. I know all of you use Chat GPT, or maybe I should just make the assumption that I use it a lot. I think people are starting to use, but this particular tool within GPT is amazing. Let's wait for my site to start. If we say, come on, if we say, um, let's, using Canvas, let's compose a Power Pages development manual, right? So we are used to the assistant of GPT as question and response, prompt and result. What I want to show you is this. Use Chat GPT Canvas to continue. Let's see what it's going to do for us. Come on, GPT. Let me pause this and try again. Is my voice still okay?
Yes.
Yeah, all good.
All right, perfect. Let's wait for it to give its first version. I think I ought to change this to Canva. Let's give it one more try. All right, you see that the UI changed a little bit. So now I don't have just the prompt and response from GPT. I have uh, GPT on the side, on the left side, where I can make changes to my document in the body of the document itself, and I can use GPT to edit my documentation here as I work. So I could ask it for review, I could ask it to make it more interesting, so on and so forth. So let's do it now instead of doing it with text or editorial composition. Let's try to use something else. Let's say, help me write a query in Dataverse uh, for, for Dataverse.
Your call may be recorded or monitored for quality purposes.
Victor, can
If
you
you
hear
are a
that?
member, press 1.
Let me ask whomever is not on mute to mute himself. Okay.
Okay, I'll sort that out.
All right. Let me go to the next example. Oops, not that one. I want to write a query to return all accounts in Dataverse listing account name, oops, phone number, and maybe city. All right. Use Chat GPT Canvas. Again, it's writing the query on the right, and then on the left, I have this assistant that can help me out refine my query. So say I wanted to add primary contacts, I want to add additional fields, it would do it here. And it does it for whatever language we may be working on. The other scenario that I use GPT a lot is for AI images. You probably saw a lot of the material that I put together for the training for Zero to Hero. You can see it on my screen over here, the heroes that we created for this run. And you see a photo also of the hero that's helping us today, Paul. That was generated with Microsoft Designer and then other AI tools where we take bodies from the web and then we overlay with faces. But yeah, this is Microsoft Designer. I gave it a prompt, create a Disney-like character of a bald Brazilian, brown skinned guy with round glasses and black beard. And this is what it composed for me. And then you can, as it resolves, you can refine the results using the strategies that April talked about last week. But those are the tools that we use. You also find when you search on Google nowadays, depending on your prompt, you see Gemini return results as part of your search results. So it composes the results, that the initial part, using AI. So a lot of it is doing the result set on the fly. It does use its Google search engine, but it composes the answers or the responses for you using AI as well. So common uses of AI that kind of it's outside of the Microsoft stack. But let's talk about Microsoft for a little bit. So Microsoft poured about $1 billion into OpenAI, I think 2 or 3 years ago. And based on that, I call it an investment. Some people call it donation, but based on that investment, Microsoft was given insight into all of the large language models that OpenAI produce, and henceforth took some of that intelligence and embedded into the products. That's the rise of Copilots. Not only that, but Azure is OpenAI's preferred cloud. AI integration with Microsoft's products is now baked in. There is, I think, close to 40 Copilots that were built within Microsoft products. And then you have an Azure OpenAI service, which is your premium OpenAI large language models available through Azure. All right, so let's have a look at it. Copilots. I have a tagline here. Copilot Microsoft Copilot, you take the lead. It makes the journey effortless. And let's have a look at Copilots within the tools. I had all of this stuff open in my machine, and my machine crashed. So it may take some time for us to get it all open, but we'll get there, okay? So let's navigate to Office, and we will open some files here and get some results for us. The idea is that from within Office, we're gonna put some commands through Copilots and get our work done without a whole lot of effort. I do struggle with remembering some of the commands in Excel. So Copilot can really help us. So let's open this file. It's a 20 gigabyte file. So hopefully it's not going to lock the screen or block us, prevent us from doing what we need to do. I will probably kill my camera to make sure my voice is not choppy on the other side. And let's wait for it to load. Alrighty. Come on, my PowerPoint, I will move it this way. Okay, so Copilot is available on this menu, depending on the license that you have. I do have Copilot for Business. I think it's about 20 USD dollars per month. It may vary where you live. And there is also another version of Copilot. Actually, no, the business one's $30 per month. Personal use is about $20 USD, and you can use that directly if you want to buy. If your company doesn't have it and you want to buy it, you can also buy it. The catch there is that you're not going to be able to use the assets from your tenant if you buy it for personal use. But once I open my file, you see Copilot is asking you to save this file in the cloud. So there is a requirement for files to be on the cloud as you use it, but you can do all sorts of things. You can ask it to summarize the data. So you can say, summarize this file. And sorry for my mistake there in and it's going to look through the file and provide information. This file is a registry list of electric vehicles in the state of Washington. So it's saying that this file is too big for us to access. What we can do is we can highlight the file, scroll all the way down, and then make it a table. Oh, I had it all ready to go.
Control T.
Thank you, sir. Okay, I will close and it's reloading here. Reloading my table. We are going to wait for it to complete loading. I think it's about 100,000 rows. So it's gonna load it and we'll advance to the next stage. Actually, no, it's a little more. I think it was 1 million. Come on. Adjusting column disposition. Getting data. All right, we have our data. Let's go back to the main tab. And we're gonna pop open Copilot once again. And we'll say summarize data. and it's going to do the job for us. It's just going to create some results based on the information that's available. And from there, we can do things that we would have to do manually to a file. Create a chart or find correlation between the data, generate a forecast, maybe automate a task that I do repeatedly, merge columns, so on and so forth. All that job can be done with the use of Copilot. Come on. Let's wait and see. While that loads, I'm gonna pop yet another file. Make sure that it's handy here before we move on to the all right, I guess Excel is not my best friend today. I'll leave it running, and then we're gonna move on to Word and see if we have better luck there. Better luck there. I'm not sure what's going on, if it's internet or what it is, but I don't think the demo, uh, my machine is demo prone today. It's not really helping me. All right, so I have a blank file in Word, which I'm gonna use to write a document. The goal was to highlight some of insights that we gained from Excel, uh, um, from this Excel file into the new file. But let's open Word and go from there. Come on. All right. So with this one, with the help of Copilot, what I'll say is start uh, or create a file, create a project plan for the implementation of infrastructure or EV infrastructure for the province of Alberta here in Canada. All right, we're gonna hit enter and we're gonna wait for Copilot to create a shell of a document for us. As you can see, it's generating information. Now, if I needed additional details, or if I needed this document to be um, to include specifics about my province or my city, I should have given that in the prompt. But we can still refine and revise the contents of the document as we go, and that's what we intend to do. So I'll keep what Copilot provided, all right? And then what I will do now is this. I'm gonna go to a specific area of the document, maybe risk management, hit enter, and then you have the Copilot icon here that's also available through Alt and I. I'm gonna click on it, and I'm gonna say extend the risk management section using information from the file, from the referenced file. All right, so I'm gonna click this option, and then now I can tap into files that were added to my SharePoint directory. So I have a number of files there. I can use those as reference. So I will select this EVEUs in Washington, maybe give a little bit of more context here and say, hey, use information from the reference file as the citizen demographic in Washington is similar to Alberta. All right, so I now reference the document. I can ask to extend this particular section, and it's gonna do that there. So again, it's looking at a document that's available in the cloud, and then it's extending risk management. Oh, then you may say, Victor, let's assume that we are starting the project. I wanted to assess first what was done in Washington before I write this documentation. So what I could do is I could erase everything in this document, go back to Copilot and say, write a summary of EV use experiences in from the state of Washington. And then I can reference the document that's available there as well. Cool, right? So these are the simple uses of Word. I use this quite often, especially if I'm preparing for meetings, or if I need to compose a document quickly or get a shell of a document ready to go for a project. I use this quite often. So let's see what Excel gave to us. So after analyzing the doc, actually, it's saying that it cannot do it. I don't know. It may be memory or whatever it is. I'm no longer able to use this. Let me try one more thing. Maybe create a chart showing EV models by city. Let's see if it's able to do that. Again, while this is still going, let's see if I can show another feature of Copilot now within PowerPoint. Again, apologies for the delay. I really was not expecting it to be so slow. Not sure what's going on. All right, for the example, for the next example, what we're gonna do is we're going to create a PowerPoint presentation with the help of Copilot. So I will pop open my SharePoint or my OneDrive directory, and then we're gonna go here. So what I wanna do in this stage is I'm gonna click to add new, and I'm gonna ask for a new PowerPoint presentation. And on this one, though I'm using this from the web, you can still do the same if you use the desktop version. So let me drag this over. Come on, Copilot. All right. Still loading my presentation apparently. Let's see if it's available now. Now it's available. Let's wait for it to load. Then I am going to create a presentation from a file. Let's see if my file has data. I don't think I saved. Let's see if I did. Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, okay, let's try this again. All right, we'll save this. Okay, now I think I'm able to do that. So let's create a presentation. All right, it generated a set of slides for us. So what I will do now is I can play with each slide and add my kind of fine tune each slide as desired. So for this one, I'm gonna add stock images to the background. Let's see what it looks afterwards. Nice, this is good. All right, so that is good as well. And then we can extend our file as desired, but you saw how easy it was to get content from a Word document and move it over here. I think we can use PDFs as well. So if there were additional documents that we wanted to reference in this presentation, we could do it there as well. You can ask also Copilot to give insight of what's to present on each slide, maybe to prepare additional notes for you, change the notes, add content that will help you with the presentation also. So up next, what do we have? We have Copilot in Outlook. This one I use a lot. And Paul, I know I ran over your time here. I promise I'll finish soon.
No problem.
So for Outlook, I think the most common use of Copilot is writing messages or revising or helping you draft a message. So you can use Copilot here as well. Let's wait for it to load. Come on. This is quite slow. All right, it's coming up. Maybe, maybe not. Let's try it again. All right, now it's here. All right, so I can ask Copilot to help me write a message. Here, give a little bit of context to it. Again, using the rules that April presented last week, we can have it help us. I can select an email and say, hey, give me a summary of this email message. If it's a very lengthy email, it will give me the details of this email. I can also go to this Copilot area, and then we have a lot more information here, or a lot more features here. I could ask it to look at a calendar opening this week or next week to meet a person. I can ask Copilot, maybe give me an overview of my calendar this week. And then it's going to infer to my schedule and give me a list of all the meetings that I have this week. Anything coming up. I think there is one particular prompt that people use them a lot where it just lists what I missed in terms of emails that were not yet read. And Copilot can help you kind of create a sort of priority in reading and replying to those messages. But yeah, so those are some features that you have available within Outlook. You have a similar setup within Teams where you can ask it to summarize a conversation. You can ask Copilot to list specifically exchange in a meeting that can be transformed into action items. So you had a long meeting, people talked about all sorts of things. You want to create an action plan for that particular interaction. You can ask Teams to do that as well. You can ask Copilot support to rewrite a message that you're going to change or you're going to send to your team or respond to a colleague through Microsoft Teams. So those are common uses of Copilot. Also, within the Microsoft stack, you have a companion app available within Windows. It's almost like you get your own chat GPT within your Windows machine. I'm using a couple of different accounts here, so I didn't get to see my Copilot for Business available, but if you click on that button, you get that experience. It's similar to what you get in copilot.microsoft.com. Finally, the last use of Copilot in Microsoft tools that I have seen is Copilots within Bing. So there used to be a feature in Bing called Bing Chat that Microsoft has replaced with Copilot. So now you have AI when you're searching and to refine your search capabilities as well. Again, sorry about the back and forth, and especially sorry for not having Excel really help us today. I'm not sure what's going on again, if it's memory or internet connection that's failing us here. But yeah, with the short time, that as much as I could present at this moment, I'm gonna pass the ball to Paul. I published the contents of the mentorship about a week or two ago, and he added a comment on LinkedIn. He said, Victor, you know, the few things that you spoke about on your promo video, I've been using for promotion of my courses or my programs within the community, and I saw an increase of reach and engagement about 3,000%. So I said, Paul, would you please join us in one of these lessons and just showcase what you have done? Because I know there is a bunch of people who will profit from this particular training. So I'm going to stop sharing and pass the mic to Paul. Again, Paul, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for rescuing me with this team debacle. And apologies everyone again for this trouble at the beginning of the class. But anyhow, it's all yours, Paul.
Fantastic. What time would you like me to finish? In 16 minutes?
Oh, you can go for as long as you want. I know that some people will have a hard stop in 16 minutes, but we'll
Okay.
record as much as you can. In terms of time, we'll record as much as you're available to provide, and then we'll put the lesson on YouTube, and folks can watch it there.
Okay. So what I'd like to mention to you is that when ChatGPT came out, I just thought, oh no, not another tool, not another piece of software. So I wasn't really interested in using it. However, something happened quite drastic when I started to use ChatGPT on my LinkedIn posts. I'm just going to show you the data. So I'm going to click on my notifications. I'm going to go to one of my posts. I'm going to go to the bottom, and there it says to view the analytics on this post, which I don't want to do. So I go to the bottom of the page, and now I'm going to view all analytics. So I've got a few things here to look at, and the one I'm going to look at now is just look at impressions. Automatically, it's going to default to just 7 days. To show you the impact that's happened with me, I'm going to show you the last 365 days. So this line at the bottom is 0. The next line is 20,000, and the next line is 40,000. So when you look at this data, can anybody guess when I started to use ChatGPT to help me?
I don't know, maybe hundreds.
What date? What date, what time on the chart did I start using ChatGPT?
All the peaks for sure.
So there is December. So let me tell you what happened on this one. For this particular one, I had 44,000 impressions in just 1 day. I had no idea what was going on. My mobile phone was literally burning in my pocket. The next thing I'd like to show you about this data is this is taking 365 days back to this particular date, and it's comparing it to 365 days before this date. And here is the scary summary. So in 1 year, close to 1 year, the amount of impressions I've had has increased by 4,300%. The amount of different members that have seen my posts has increased by close to 4,700%. I'm guessing we could say that ChatGPT has managed to increase my presence on LinkedIn. Does anyone have a question, or would you like me to carry on speaking?
You can keep on going. I'll monitor the chat here, and we'll let you know if people add questions.
Brilliant. So what it does underneath, it shows me the top posts that I've had in the last 365 days. This was the post that made me realize that ChatGPT was something special. So I work a lot with executive assistants. So I created an image in ChatGPT, and it was something like executive assistant, very busy working, doing lots of things at the time, with a Lego box showing what she's doing. Because this is a very old version of ChatGPT, this took me about an hour to get the picture correct. And even though I spent 1 hour on it, it still spelt the word assistant incorrectly. There's not much text there, so it's the picture. Let's look at the numbers. Nearly 4,000 people reacted, over 500 comments, and 311 people reposted this. If you look here, over 200,000 impressions have been made just on that post alone. This is when I realized how much impact ChatGPT could have on my social media presence. So what I did was I did the same post 3 months ago. So I left a gap of 8 months. And here's the post. It's now much better, much easier to control. I changed the copy, the photograph. It's fine, no mistakes. Nearly 200,000 impressions again. Reactions, comments, and this time, nearly 400 people have reposted it. So I want to ask a quick question now. And if you could let me know in the comments, Michael Jackson released an album called Thriller. How many songs were on the album? You can put some numbers in there, or shout out, or cheat. How many songs were in his album?
So someone's Googling it, probably.
Come on, you can at least guess.
No
Or maybe
idea, but I'm gonna say 7.
Well, you're very close. He released nine songs on his album. How many of them became hits?
I would venture to say all of them.
Yeah, most people think all of them. It was actually 7 of
Seven.
them became hits, which in terms of an album doesn't ever happen. The next thing I want to ask you, and I know some of you are already on ChatGPT now, how many records did Michael Jackson reject before he chose the 9?
Probably a lot of them. He was very critical of his work, so.
Give me a
But I
number.
don't have a number for you.
Just
50.
guess. 900.
Whoa.
The only reason we have the album, which is the best-selling album in history, the only reason we have the album it's because he rejected 900 songs. He didn't wake up and write those 9 songs. It just doesn't work that way. I'm trying to get you to have the same principle with LinkedIn. For me, it makes no sense why this post went viral. But it did. So I want to show you 1 or 2 more posts. This one here. And my audience is executive assistants. This one was very interesting. I said executive assistants' pay should be linked to their bosses. And I had all of these comments, and no comment is short. People really got into this discussion. 60,000 impressions. This is one of my favorite posts, even though it hasn't got the numbers of the others. This is just a post that says, even though you're an executive assistant, please stop and have lunch. I just love the image. Yes, there's a shoe there. There's a pair of glasses on the phone. She's got 2 name badges. There's a cup of tea on the ground. The picture doesn't make sense, but it's one of my favorites. So what I'd encourage you in terms of your role is just keep on posting as often as you can on LinkedIn. And by the law of averages, 1 or 2 of your posts are bound to become viral. The next thing I'd like to mention to you is if you notice, all of my posts have images. So what you could do is always use an image, and I've got the paid version of ChatGPT, because when you have an image, it's just a fact that more people are going to engage with your post. The only thing about images is I would like you to consider what type of images you have. So ChatGPT, show me a list of 100 image styles. So here, this is now going to give me 100 different styles that I could use. One of my favorites is steampunk. So I'm going to say steampunk, go back to ChatGPT, draw me a pilot in steampunk style. So what you could do is you might have a particular style of image that you like, and it might connect with your audience. Then you could just use that style. So can you see, here's my steampunk pilot. What do you think, Victor?
That looks cool.
Yeah. So one thing I'd like you to consider is there's almost no limit to the style. So when you draw your images, just don't say to ChatGPT, draw an image. Maybe try and have a certain style of the images you have or how they look. And that might add to your branding as well. So going back to this, I also use ChatGPT to write the text. So this is an example. I had the idea for the post, and I never use ChatGPT for ideas. I have the idea, and I ask ChatGPT sometimes to write the post. So I'm going to say to ChatGPT, I think EA's pay should be linked to managers, write LinkedIn post. Let's spell it correctly. So it's my idea, but I'm just getting ChatGPT to help me with some words. Now this copy is not bad, but it's nowhere near as good as this copy. So you keep on practicing, but I don't generally use ChatGPT for ideas. I know what I'm talking about. I just want ChatGPT to help me with the image or the text. But now, this is the most important thing about ChatGPT. You can't let ChatGPT write your posts because it's going to sound like a ChatGPT LinkedIn post. So what I want you to do in ChatGPT is click on your photo and where it says customize it. And here I've told ChatGPT who I am. And I've used 1,400 characters out of the 1,500. It then asks you, how would you like ChatGPT to respond? I now give it instructions on how to respond. The most important thing I've asked it to do, I'm going to paste it in the chat box. So this is probably the best thing I've ever done. I've told ChatGPT not to sound like ChatGPT. So when I write my posts, they have a bit more of a human flavor and it just doesn't sound like it. You could ask ChatGPT to remove emojis or give it specific instructions. But I've gone further than that. Look at this. I've said, because I spent every day writing posts, I said this to ChatGPT in the custom instructions. If I type LI, it needs to be a LinkedIn post that builds my Microsoft authority. Add viral hashtags vertically. So I'm now going to go back to ChatGPT and all I have to write is LI and any word I choose. So I'm going to type in the word sequoia tree. I can't spell it right. It's writing a post about the sequoia tree. It found it difficult to get LinkedIn, to get Microsoft in there. But if I type in LI pizza, it's going to probably come up with something. There you are, the pizza principle of productivity. And it's going to start bringing Microsoft into it. Can I ask one or two of you here how you feel about the logic of what I've done? I've got 1 more minute. No questions? Okay, the final thing I'd like to do is I've cheated. List all my styles of LinkedIn posts. So I've done some work on this and I've said to it, give me different styles of LinkedIn posts. So these are the ones that LinkedIn has helped me to prepare. So if I want to write a LinkedIn post on growth of AI, I don't use LI because that's already at the top of the list. So I program LinkedIn. Now if I type in LI question mark, it will choose a random item on the list. I'm a little bit obsessed. So if you just use 1 or 2 of these ideas and just use the Michael Jackson principle of just keep on producing content, eventually you're going to find that viral post, you're going to learn from it, and you're going to get more people to see you. And I've been checking and I'm making money now from people booking me because they've seen my LinkedIn posts. Victor, back to you.
Oh, this is amazing, Paul. That's where it's at. And I wanted to reemphasize to folks here that the same principles that you see Paul apply on LinkedIn, you can apply on any social media channel or even on your website, in the content that you produce elsewhere. It could even serve as a script for YouTube videos, so on and so forth. But yeah, I was not aware of the details you could feed Chat GPT for the responses you're getting. So that was beautifully crafted. Thank you. I wish I could hit the react button for hand clap multiple times. I tried. But yeah, with that, we're gonna finish today's lesson. I'm gonna send some materials over the WhatsApp channel, probably referring to some of the commands that we saw on Word, Excel, PowerPoint, so on and so forth, and also this material that Paul has presented to us. I will try it on my own. I mean, I write a lot of posts for LinkedIn every week. So I will start to fine tune my ChatGPT account. Hopefully, Microsoft will come up with ways for us to do the same for Copilot, where we can introduce some of the settings and then fine tune it to our own use. But that was amazing, hands down. Next week, we're going to have Geeta. She's an MVP as well. She'll be talking more about Copilot Studio. So we saw Copilots being used within Microsoft products, and we're going to look into ways on how we can produce our own Copilot. So using intelligence that's available in your knowledge base articles, documents in your SharePoint, website, so on and so forth, you can create a Copilot for your company or for yourself. So that's what we're going to be looking at next week. All right. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Again, Paul, thank you so very much for this. Man, this is solid gold. It's amazing. And also, apologies for the small issue we had beginning of the class. You see, Paul is a class act. You know, he took on the lesson, he started to run with it. I so appreciate this community, you know, for that reason. You know, everybody's willing to help, to lend a hand. So we'll see you next week. Be on the lookout for the homework. I know you guys don't like that the way it sounds, but we'll send you some material just so that you can practice. I'm not going to grade anything, so don't be afraid of Professor Dantas here. But we're gonna send you some material your way. So if you want to do some work, you can do that in your week, and you can also share with us and the rest of the team how it went for you. All right, take care, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.